Hey guys, Porowl here, and with classic WoW on the horizon, there's a lot of crazy news to cover, so I'm just going to get right into it. For anyone that wants to watch a specific part of the video, you can find timestamps in the comment section below. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is some blue posts from Blizzard. Let's take a look. Due to a very high demand, we will open a new WoW Classic realm for name reservations at 5 PM PDT today, Wednesday, August 14th, Stalag, PvP, Eastern Time. We suggest that players, especially those on the Herod realm, consider creating characters on Stalag. We expect that other PvP realms in the region will otherwise experience significant login queues when Classic launches. Thank you. Alright, here's the problem with this. They announced the server release today, and released the server a few hours later, which to my knowledge, was only announced in a blue post over on Blizzard forums, which I mean, come on, not everybody in the community reads those. This gave people little to no time to prepare for the new server, and for anyone that would have thought to switch, most likely won't due to them or their guildmates or friends not getting the character names that they want. If Blizzard releases another server, which they probably will, they need to be more vocal about it, with a longer wait period between the announcement and the server's release, so that the players can prepare for character creation a little better. Alright, let's look at another post here. Based on name reservations so far, the Herod realm is looking to be massively overpopulated. If all existing players on the server remain there, login queues in excess of 10,000 players are a certainty, and possibly much higher than that. We recently opened up the Stalag realm, and we urge players on Herod to consider moving there. There are a lot of players currently on Herod, and we want Stalag to fill up before we open up any new PvP realms. This is so that player population is spread evenly as possible before launch, in order to provide the best player experience. For the players over on the European realms, they have the exact same blue post just with different server names, which you can find in the description below. Blizzard mentions that they have the technical capacity to raise the realm cap, but it would cause a problem when they remove layering in Phase 2, which I agree with. Basically, for those who don't know, layering allows a realm to create several instances of itself to balance its own population. So instead of thousands of players being around in every starting area at launch, there will be far less due to layering, which I think is a good thing at launch due to the volume of players that will be logging in. Like I mentioned earlier, layering will be removed in Phase 2 of Classic WoW's release. Alright, back to the post. Please also note that our realm population estimates of low, medium, high, and full are based on this increased capacity. A medium realm today already has more characters on it than even the most crowded realms did back in 2006, which is absolutely insane. Classic WoW is going to be massive at launch, and while I think a lot of players will quit down the line, I think a majority of the players will play for a long time, with a bunch of new players joining along the way. For those looking for Warcraft to feel like a world again, I think Classic will be the right place. I've been reading around the forums and reading around on Reddit, and it seems a lot of people from Herod are going to switch. I also read that a lot of people aren't going to switch, for those who don't know where to go. Both servers are going to have a lot of players on it, so if you are on one realm with your friends and got the names that you want, I would personally stay on that realm because it's going to be hard to coordinate a group switch and get the names that you all want. Herod and Stalag are both going to be massive servers, and only time will tell if they will be too big later down the road. Keep in mind, more servers will most likely get released, and they may allow free character transfers to relieve server stress. I'm one of those people who made a character on Herod to avoid massive streamers, and cannot switch due to how many friends I have playing on the same realm, and how little the notice was of a new server release. Alright, now let's talk about the World of Warcraft frequently asked questions, which was posted yesterday by Blizzard. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, so if you are curious to all the questions, you can find their link to the post in the description below. Alright, so the first question is, when does WoW Classic launch? The game will launch worldwide on Monday, August 26 at 3 PM PDT. See below for details on the exact time for when you can log in. For anybody that's trying to play on release, hopefully you have your schedule clear for this day and time. Alright, question number 2. Will there be an Armory for WoW Classic? There was no Armory for World of Warcraft until the Burning Crusade. If you wanted to know more about a player's gear before you invited them to your party, you had to meet them in the world and physically inspect them. and you could not inspect players of the opposite faction until 2.4. You couldn't see their spec or talent builds when you inspected them either. To maintain that same dynamic, we won't have an armory or profile pages for WoW Classic at launch, which I think is a good idea. I like that Blizzard is trying their best to keep Classic WoW as authentic as they can. However, Blizzard has been known to be out of touch from time to time, but it seems that they have somebody listening over in the Classic WoW department, and our voices so far have been heard. I'm hoping the best for Classic's future, as it can be a massive MMO, and it can feel like a huge world with a ton of players back in it again. Alright, will I be able to play all the content that was available in 1.12 when Classic WoW launches? The content for WoW Classic will be rolled out in 6 patches, to allow for increasing power progression, and to better deliver an experience closer to what it felt like to play in original WoW. We haven't yet determined exactly when phases 2 through 6 will occur, but we'll keep you updated as they draw closer. Again, I really appreciate that Blizzard is trying to keep it as authentic to vanilla WoW as they can, and it's super cool knowing that it's going to be even bigger this time around. The next thing I want to talk about is Joana, the hunter who set a world record for leveling back in vanilla with 4 days and 20 hours. You can find his entire unedited speedrun on YouTube, which I linked down below. Joana has since taken his time down to 3 days and 22 hours in a private server, which he said could be faster, because he died 20 times. Joana has also completed a 1 to 40 speedrun in 1 day, 19 hours, and 28 minutes, which is absolutely insane. So if you're trying to level up quick, then I suggest checking out his guide, which he just updated recently, and he has been kind enough to put it up for free on his website, so if you're looking to level up quick, definitely check that guy out. As a speedrunner myself, you guys know I'll eventually be speed leveling, but for the first time leveling up in Classic WoW, I'm gonna take it nice and easy, and just stop and smell the roses. There's no real rush to get to level 60, and I'd like to do as much exploring as I can before I do hit max level. Classic WoW is going to bring a lot of old friends back together, and create a lot of new friendships along the way, and I can't wait for servers to actually go live. I started playing WoW in late Burning Crusade, so I never got to enjoy the game at its core, so it's really awesome that I get to experience an official Blizzard launch classic version of Warcraft. For the first time in all of my years playing WoW, except for a brief period in Legion, I will be playing Horde. My friends decided to go Horde this time around, and I wasn't going to play on the Alliance alone. So for anyone playing Alliance, you better watch your back in Stranglethorn Vale, because me and the boys are ready for war.